Hey, what's up YouTubers, and welcome back to another Toddy Walnuts collection overview video. As you can see from the title, I'm going to be sharing with you guys today my television series box sets, and these are going to consist of my horror and sci-fi TV series. I grabbed a bunch of stuff, put it on my bed. I may be missing some stuff, I'm not sure. I just kind of grabbed. So I tend to forget things often when I record videos, as is the case for the first two I'm going to show you before I get into the television series box sets. A couple days ago I did a video for my movie compilation collection. There was a couple I forgot to show, and thanks to some of my viewers, they reminded me, and I'll show you the two that I forgot before I get into the box sets here. First one is a Blu-ray from Synapse Films called 42nd Street Forever, the Blu-ray edition. Not sure how I forgot this, and it's very possible I forgot some other ones too. 80 plus trailers over 3 hours. You can take a look at the box there, and it shows some of the movies that you will be seeing in the trailer compilation. It is all region. This came out in 2012, and it is 225 minutes long. So that's a really nice addition there. I don't know how I forgot this. Wanted to show it just to add it to the video. But there's the disc, and then it shows us some background. There's Fred Williamson and Boss Nigger. So blaxploitation film from the 70s. 42nd Street Forever. And the next one is from Vinegar Syndrome, and this is they call this the catalog of film from the spring of 2017. And I really like this edition. They were selling it directly on their website, and it was pretty cheap, and if I remember correctly, there was some nudity in here, so I better not flip through the book. But it is a very nice thick book. I think it's probably, it's 100 pages, a little bit over 100 pages actually. It's a very good read. And then here is the edition. So if you're interested in this, this is a DVD. You can go to vinegarsyndrome.com, or you can email them at vinsyn.com. And this shows trailers from the 60s through the 90s, 520 minutes, color and black and white. And there's different aspect ratios. So some might be full frame, some might be anamorphic widescreen, some might be regular widescreen. But look at how beautiful that is. Really nice. That is a really nice edition, and I really recommend it. I can't believe I forgot to show this in my last video a couple days ago about the trailer compilations. I just wanted to get that out of the way before now we get into the you know, you can see here I got a bunch of stuff on the bed. I'm just going to kind of pull from piles, make a little filler video for YouTube. This is Star Trek, the animated series. Sorry about that. Had to get a little situated here. And this animated series came out in 1973, ran for 2 years, 2 seasons. It was 22 episodes. And I bought this secondhand on eBay for pretty cheap, but it's a little bit kind of dirty, and it's in good shape all around. I mean, these are kind of harder to find now, but they come in these plastic shell cases, and then there's a DVD edition on the inside. And you can see that the way that they put this together, they have these little tabs that stick out, and no matter how hard you try to be careful, they leave these little dents on the bottom of the slipcover. It's not a very good design, but it is a good collection piece. I like it. And they just kind of house the discs like this in a jewel case. They stack them on top of each other with a swing tray. And the cool thing about this series, it was supposed to take off right after the original Star Trek series, and it had all the same actors voice their parts in the series. So that's a cool little addition to have. And then here is the original Star Trek, the original series. I think this came out in 1966. And this is a combo, and you can see that there is a failed format, the HD DVD, and it also does have the regular DVD. And it comes in the same style packaging. I'm not going to open all of these. I just want to kind of show you guys what I have in my collection. Didn't buy these brand new. Again, I bought these off of eBay from a secondhand seller. So there's some people don't take care of their stuff as well as others, and but I felt like this was a good addition to get for the price. The next one is Star Trek, the original series, season 2 from 1967. I do believe that these also came out now in a Blu-ray edition with the same plastic kind of shell. I think. I could be mistaken about that. But I know that these have since been released on Blu-ray. And finally, we have Star Trek, the original series, season 3, 1968. And you know, for a show that only lasted 3 seasons, it really had a powerful effect on fans for the genre. And you know, this was in syndication for many years. I think, you know, a lot of people think that this show lasted longer than 3 seasons because of its longevity, you know, in syndication, but it was only 3 seasons. The next one is the Time Tunnel, and there's 2 seasons of this. This was volume 1, came out in 1967, came in this little cardboard slip box, and it has 2 slim pack DVDs in there. So there's a 4-disc set here for volume 1. Good old Irwin Allen, who was a wizard for some of these sci-fi series and movies. First 15 episodes of the series. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I do believe it only did last for 1 season. It's just in 2 volumes. So this is the first 15 shows, and then this is I believe the last, or the final 15. So there was 30 episodes. Some bonus features too there. There's interviews and a TV pilot. Time Traveler's TV movie is included. That's cool. Good old sci-fi goodness. The Time Tunnel. The next one is this was kind of a gap between the radio drama years and the early TV years. This is called One Step Beyond, and this is an 8 DVD set. And this came out right around the same time, or right at the exact same time that Twilight Zone came out in 1959. And it lasted for 2 seasons. There was 97 episodes total. They were 22 minutes apiece because it was a half-hour show, and they peppered in commercials to fill out the 30 minutes. And this was a series that kind of bridged between the radio years from programs such as Lights Out, The Mysterious Traveler, The Witch's Tale. And it was a show that had a host, just like Twilight Zone. And instead of having, you know, drama programs or a lot of writers to write the programs, they kind of did shows that were supposed to be based on real events. So it was a good show. It doesn't hold a candle to Twilight Zone. And this is only 33 episodes of the 97 that the series ran. It says before the Twilight Zone there was One Step Beyond, but they were filmed in the same year of 1959. Also, the quality on this set is not the greatest, but it's still decent. You can see it's a really nice addition, though. I love the way that this looks. Looks like a book. It's a beautiful piece. And that is One Step Beyond. All right, let's see, what do I get into next? We'll pop this one on here. This is called Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. It's a series that was on TV here in the US. Started in 1997. This is the only season that was ever released on DVD or any format. And this is quite pricey now. I think when this first came out, I got it for about 30 to 40 bucks. I've had this for probably 10 years now. But they never, it was released in a very limited quantity. And it was, I believe it's long out of print now, so. This was hosted by James Brolin for the first season or two, I believe. And it ended up going, I think it lasted 5 or 6 years. I could be wrong about that. But the other seasons were hosted by Jonathan Frakes, and those were good too. I wish I can get those on DVD or Blu-ray. But this is a really cool set. I think it ran till 2002. So from 1997 to 2002, Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. If you can find that at a decent price, I recommend to grab it. Next one was an HBO show, and it was a very, very good show. It didn't last very long. I think it only lasted 2 or 3 seasons. And this is the show called Carnival, and this is the first season. I've seen the first 2. I believe maybe it was only 2 seasons. I used to have the second season on DVD, but I sold it. I'm going to have to get it back now. But this was a really, really good show. It was creepy. It was about a traveling circus during the time of the Great Depression, or the Dust Bowl from 1934. And it was a very, very good season. There's 4 discs. It says there's 12 one-hour episodes. I strongly recommend this. I never really hear anybody talk about this, but it just kind of abruptly ended. I'm not sure why. I never did the research to find out why, but I thought it was, overall, it was a really, really good show. There's a lot of creepy elements in this, sci-fi and horror elements to it. So that's Carnival. The next one here is season 1 of Tales from the Dark Side, the television show. This one was a screener, I think, or something. You could see where somebody cut through the barcode. I bought this at FYE several years ago. It was pretty cheap. I think it was right around the $5 mark. That was just for season 1. And it was another anthology horror film. It was okay. Some of the episodes were better than others. I guess you could say that about any series, but I think the best thing about this series was the beginning, the intro. You guys go check that out on YouTube. Check out the intro from Tales from the Dark Side. It's probably has one of the best, if not the best, intros in any of these horror shows. So that is just season 1. And then I think a year or 2 ago, they came out with the complete series, all 4 seasons, every horrifying episode. Comes with a nice little slipcover in this little fat pack DVD case. It's really cool. I think this was pretty cheap too. You could probably get this for 20 to 30, I believe. It's a 12-disc set, and the episodes span from 1983 to 1988. Some special features. Fun little series. And like I was saying, it comes in this fat pack. And the discs are housed on swing trays. And it has the episode list in the background. And it's a box set I strongly recommend. You could get this for cheap. Do a little recap at the end. The next one is another anthology, another US anthology from the 60s. This is called Thriller. This is the complete series on 14 DVD deluxe box set. And the Thriller program ran from 1960 to 1962, and it had 67 episodes. And I do believe that there was a British, kind of like a reimagining of this from the 70s, and I heard that's pretty good too. I'm going to have to track that down and add that to the collection. So from what I hear, the one from Great Britain in the 70s was even better than this one. Over 50 hours of special features. Image Entertainment put this out, and these came with these little slim packs here. Disc 1 through 20. And again, I bought this used, that's why it's kind of beat up. I believe this one's pretty pricey now. I think it's out of print, so I think I bought it used because the price was right. If I remember correctly, I've had this now for several years, but I didn't buy it brand new. And the next one is a series I never watched, but I always hear good things about this. I picked this up a couple years ago on a Black Friday sale. And this is Twin Peaks, the original series, and it comes with the movies Fire Walk with Me and The Missing Pieces. And this is one I still have to dive into. This is the Blu-ray edition of it. There's nearly 90 minutes of deleted and alternate scenes. Looking forward to jumping into this. I've heard a lot of good things about it, so it's just a matter of time before I check that out. Got another fat pack here called the Complete Series, Friday the 13th. All 3 seasons are inside this box set. Again, it comes with a nice little slipcover here. Nice glossy. So take a look at the back here. 17 discs. Show ran from 1987 to 1990. Full frame, 4:3 aspect ratio. Rut roll. Get a little tongue-tied sometimes. But I like the way that this set looks. And again, it has kind of the episode index in the back, and then you have the swing trays with all the discs. It's a pretty heavy set. This actually has nothing to do with the franchise Friday the 13th. It's just a horror anthology. And glad to have that in the collection. Here is season 1 of the original, The Outer Limits, on Blu-ray, put out by Kino Lorber about a year or two ago. Season 1 ran from 63 to 64, has a running time of 1,632 minutes, and this is a very good show. Came out a little bit after the Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone ran till 64, so their Twilight Zone's very last season was The Outer Limits' first season. And here's season 2. Season 2 went from 64 to 65. 867 minutes. All these special features. Very nice. And then there was a kind of a rebirth of the series in the 80s. This was called the New Outer Limits. The Outer Limits, the new series, is what they advertised it as. This is a 6-disc set. This is a very pricey set now because it's out of print. And again, I went and bought kind of a cheaper one that was used. But I just wanted to have it in my collection. You can see the different collections that they put out. These are all included in this one box set, or you can buy them singly if you want to. You can see all of the Amaray cases. I believe this came out in the early to mid 80s. So that is the new series, The Outer Limits. Here is Irwin Allen's Land of the Giants, the complete collection. Another really nice edition, fat pack. This is a UK edition. This was not released here in the US. This is a 14 disc set, the complete collection on DVD. Contains all 51 episodes with special features. And again, I really love these fat packs. I like the way that the discs are housed in here, except for when they're falling around. They stack these sometimes. There we go. Really glad to have this edition of a great show from the 60s. Does it say when it ran? I believe it was early 1960s. Again, this is full frame. Looks like the series lasted from 1968 to 1969. And the show is supposed to take place in 1983. 51 episodes. Land of the Giants. Next one is the Ray Bradbury Theater, 65 episodes on 5 DVDs. I have 2 of these, 2 different editions, but it's the same exact set. This was the older edition, and this was the one that came out a few years later, but they're exactly the same. And 65 short stories from the master of sci-fi, Ray Bradbury. Lasted from 1985 to 1992. From Echo Bridge. Over 26 hours of material on here. And the discs are stacked. Not a really good idea to do with DVDs. DVDs do scratch pretty easy. This is also stacked. Put that in there. A really good show, underrated show. You don't hear too much about this. It kind of took a back seat to Outer Limits and Twilight Zone and shows like that. But these were very, very good, well-written stories. Let's jump into this little pile here next. This is called the complete first season of Night Gallery, hosted by Rod Serling of Twilight Zone fame. Night Gallery came out in 1969 and it ran through 1973. It was 3 seasons. So this came out 5 years after Twilight Zone ended. And there's 20 terrifying stories plus the original plot. I can't talk today. Pilot movie. It's kind of a digipack style. Get the discs housed in there. I'm not the biggest fan of this style packaging because they tend to get beat up quite a bit easier than like an Amaray case. You get a lot of shelf wear and tear. No matter how careful you are with these or how gentle you are handling these, you're going to get nicks and scratches and dings on these cardboard boxes. Here's season 2. Comes in a digipack. Another 5-disc set. Says it's approximately 18 hours 40 minutes for season 2. And season 3 was released on a DVD Amaray case, which drives collectors nuts. 2 of them were digipacks and 1 was an Amaray case. There's not really any way you can remedy that. Just have to deal with it. Season 3 didn't last very long. It was 6 hours and 28 minutes. Two-disc set. that is Night Gallery, another series I really recommend. I enjoyed that a lot. It's got a lot of rewatchability factor to it. I never picked up the Twilight Zone Blu-ray set yet because I really love this DVD box set. And this is the complete definitive collection 28 DVD set. This DVD set is way better than the Blu-ray set. So you get all 5 seasons. I'll just pull one out and show you guys what they look like. It's put out by Image Entertainment. Beautiful set. I'll just pull out season 5 here really quick. So it comes in kind of like a, almost like a digibook sort of, and then has like the little episode catalog there, and then the DVDs are housed on these little swing trays, and it's very glossy and very metallic-y. Very, very nice. I love this set. I will never get rid of this set. I was so happy the day I got this many, many, many years ago. I could never get rid of it. Even if I do upgrade at one point, which I probably will. I'll get the Blu-ray at some point. I will never part with this. I'll put that away off camera so I don't ruin it. So that is the Twilight Zone. There's not much to say. That, you know, everybody knows the series. One of the greatest, you know, I guess horror, thriller, sci-fi anthology series. It has a little bit of everything in it. A lot of big named actors participated in this show. Let's see. Then I got the Twilight Zone, the complete 80s series. Comes in this fat pack. Includes all 3 seasons from the classic 80s TV series. You can see old Tom Skerritt in there. 13 disc set. The show ran from 1985 through 1989. 37 hours and 50 minutes. It was definitely not as good as the original Twilight Zone, but it was still very entertaining. And I recommend it. Moving on. I'm going to pause it here just for a second to kind of clean up my pile, and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, I'm back, and on second thought, I think I'm going to end the video here and finish up in part 2, because we're already at the 30-minute mark. And I'm not sure how many people sit through those videos that length. So thank you guys for tuning in and checking out my collection. I always appreciate it. And if you have any questions or comments, you can leave those below. Take care, and I will see you guys next time.